Let's see what's happening with SoFi stocks. Here's the main indicator: huge volumes. Options trading isn't allowing this stock to move higher or lower. After the report, most likely there will be a breakout. I'll also show you in this video how I manage my SoFi positions. We'll summarize what I've been doing over the past week, what positions I've opened, what I've specifically closed, review volatility, look at market forecasts regarding SoFi stocks. There will be a lot of useful information. Let's start with SoFi stocks for this week. Actually, nothing much has happened. Yes, we've seemingly declined by 3%, but personally, it just seems like consolidation continues. As we can see, the prices fluctuate every day from $7 to $7.35, has been going on for the whole week. Let's look at the volatility. It will give us the answer to the first question. Volatility is starting to increase. This is of course primarily related to the upcoming report, because during the report, volatility naturally increases as expectations rise for sharp price movements too. Let's look at the volatility smile. As we can see, closer strikes for May and June are oriented both towards downward and upward direction. This is a perfectly normal situation because investors buy put options to hedge their risks. This will also definitely help us in forming a new strategy in the future. Let's look at historical and implied volatility. Historical volatility is the gray line. Implied volatility is the white line. Of course, implied volatility is much higher, especially closer to the event, but this is perfectly normal because we have a report coming up, and that's why volatility is higher here. So as I always tell you, you can trade not only the stocks themselves, but also volatility. This is primarily done through option. Specifically, we can, for example, specify the stock, then select, for instance, volatility, and say that volatility will decrease by 20%. Technical analysis can help us form intelligent positions. As we can see, the majority of our strategy indicates that the profit will be more than 100%. But naturally, if volatility doesn't decrease, as we can see, of course, the profit isn't as significant as what is being offered to us. Here's the strategy: selling 2 call options with a strike of 8 and an expiration date in May, and buying 1 call option with a strike of 7 and an expiration in June. Such a strategy with different dates, expirations, and strikes is what stands out. Its profile, as we have it, practically always shows the possibility of making a profit. In principle, the strategy is good. I still prefer to develop strategies myself. I don't trust artificial intelligence and other programs that help make money, including bots and others. I rely on my knowledge and experience, but the strategy is very effective. I often use such strategies. However, again, this strategy needs to be managed properly. When it comes to playing volatility, I don't just say, friends, play volatility. I directly show you strategies that allow you to play volatility. But again, if you don't understand options, you need to understand options first. Understand the fundamentals, how the market works, how options work, how delta, gamma, and options work. Only then can you build some simpler strategy. Actually, we have a concentration of volume at the levels of $7.50, $7 when it comes to call options, and a very large volume is concentrated at $7, which are put options. We can highlight $7 as we see there have been several attempts, and we couldn't overcome them. Also at $7.50, price approaches these values, but it can't surpass $7.50.5. This is primarily due to these huge walls in the options market. In previous videos, I have already mentioned that before the report, most likely we will have consolidation. This is how it happens. Next week, most likely we will also have consolidation. It's unlikely that we will break $7 because, again, I'm showing this large volume. But again, anything can happen, and after the report, we will need to monitor how the earnings were. Again, if someone asks me where SoFi stock will go, I don't know. Again, I remind you of my philosophy: I can't predict price movements. I have no idea where the stock will go. I simply act according to mathematical analysis and mathematically sound portfolio management. That's what I do. Let's take a look at my portfolio right away. Here I have sold several puts on SoFi, and I also have 200 shares of SoFi stock. I have 200 shares of SoFi, with the latest price at $8.16. I've already realized a profit of $254 on these shares, all thanks to skillful position management. Let me add a new line to the table, and we'll summarize the results for the past week. Currently, SoFi is at $7.10. I'll add this to the table. Today is April 21st, 2024, and as we can see, SoFi hasn't moved much lately. Let's take a look at my portfolio. The blue line represents my portfolio, and the red line represents SoFi shares. As we can see, my portfolio is steadily growing, which is crucial. Although SoFi shares are falling, my strategy of overtaking SoFi shares continues. I started with $10,000 of Sofi shares, and currently I have a small profit, almost 2%, which is nearly 3%, while SoFi shares are down by 11%. In total, overtaking SoFi shares has left me with almost 14% profit. You might ask, why am I not opening new positions? I haven't opened new positions for a while because I have a report coming up, and I don't see the point in rushing to open new positions. I don't know where the stock will go, and that's called prudent position management. I need you to understand one thing: there's no need to rush. You'll have time to open new positions. The problem lies in being impatient hastily, my friends. Being patient pays off. As I freely open positions, I won't do anything until the report comes out because I don't know where the stock will go. I can't open a position just to satisfy my urge. The secret to successful position management lies in patience. If you don't see a strategy worth opening, then simply don't open it. That's the whole secret. That's how I work and operate. Now let's look at the 3D volatility. Our 3D volatility is concentrated on all dates, all volumes on options. And of course, this indicator also helps build sound positions. While I'm not doing anything, let's also look at the market forecast for Sofi shares. As we can see, the market is indicating the highest percentage for Sofi shares to be priced between $6 and $7. The market forecasts the highest percentage that the stock will be priced between $6 and $7 in a month. You need to understand this. This range has the highest volume. Slightly less, we have from $7 to $8 what the stock will be priced. So in total, it's almost 50%. But in reality, the stock is more likely to drop. I'm not sure this is the best idea. You came here to make money, not argue with the market. To make money, you need to act in accordance with the market. Apply mathematical capital management as well. If you're a long-term investor, your task is simply to buy and wait, and not to sell anything else. Of course, you could have adjusted your positions a little. You could have additionally sold options. But again, this is already position management. If you don't know how to do it, I wouldn't recommend getting too actively involved. Also, I remind you that very soon, when I start monetizing on YouTube, I will launch a new portfolio, a new experiment where we will buy stocks and form a portfolio completely from scratch. I'm already preparing a special table, even a dashboard to the goal, which I will, of course, provide to everyone for free. There will also be dividends. And all the trading, all this information, of course, I will make publicly available. You can track which positions I open, which I close. Everything will be as detailed as possible. And most importantly, free and open. Anyone can check, and we'll see which stocks I'm currently buying and selling. That's the most important thing. I guarantee you, there will be a lot of interesting stuff. We will definitely outperform all the indices in the long term. I will be updating my professional strategies, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the start of this experiment. Also, I advise you to watch my previous videos about Sofi stock. I discuss my positions there too, so you could see the history of my trades, understand how I form my portfolio, why I use these strategies. I explain everything in detail there too. Good luck to everyone.